Oh, hello, it's Strider here with your latest and greatest of Pokemon Masters X videos. This episode we are continuing our free-to-play, minimally invested Champion Stadium walkthrough. If you haven't seen my guide on how to do the Champion Stadium, you can check that out. It's full of tips on basically how to get started and play this game, any difficult content in Pokemon Masters X, but it does specifically focus on Champion Stadium as well. So even if you're not doing Champion Stadium or you finished already, I'm sure you can get a lot of good hints and tips and tricks for this game just by watching that video. So go do that first, and then if you still need a crash course on each of the levels, then go ahead and you can follow me. If you have been following me, you know that the first round we took down Bruno, and then we tackled Lorelei. So this is round 3. Round 3, the parameters, special parameters for round 3 is that you have to make use of special damage reduction to battle opponents with high special attack. So who do you think we're going to battle next? Yeah, that's right. If you saw the thumbnail, you should know. Or if you watched my tips and tricks video, you should know we're going after Agatha. That's right. So Agatha uses all special attacks, and so this reduction is going to go a long way to helping us survive. And so we need to find a physical, free-to-play story character striker. Your choices are Iris and Lucario. Both of them are very good choices. I'm going to try out Lucario because I think Lucario needs a little less investment. Like Lucario is pretty good right out the box. You can see that normal stats are standard, but when you mega, that attack stat jumps up to over 400, and the speed boost is always nice because normal Lucario is actually a bit slow. So, but it's okay because she can max her own speed using her TMs, and she boosts her own crits. There's not any... Oh, Torchic. You have Torchic. Aside from Torchic, there's not any supports that boost crits that are free to play just from the story. So yeah, I don't have a lucky skill on her, but you know, Critical Strike 2 or Power Reserves, Power Flux is always going to be good. Maybe Stoic even, or yeah, not Fast Track because you can max your own speed. Stoic would be good to help boost defense, but this stage doesn't need it. This stage is all special defense, special attacks oriented. So we're going to use Misty. Misty's going to buff special defense. She's going to act like what Brock did for Bruno, except for instead of just buffing defense for himself, she's going to buff defense for the whole team, which is really important because Lucario's special defense is really low, and she even nerfs that even more as she uses her close combat spam. So if we want Lucario to survive even the first Agatha sync, we need to make sure that we buff that defense a little bit. Misty also allows you to have a regen heal and boosts evasiveness. Because this is kind of like an all-out do-or-die type thing, you know, the heal is not going to make that much of a difference. We're going to use her trainer move. We got 2. So we're going to use her trainer move. I think the evasiveness is going to be even better than the heal, hopefully. We're going to use her trainer move on Catch Us If You Can, and we're also going to use it on...
It's time to get things
excuse me, we're going to use it on Karina here as well. Because Karina's going to be the one spending the moves. But there's another reason, I'll get to that in a second. Also, we're not going to use it on Nanu, because Nanu can boost his own evasiveness, actually 4 levels, which is pretty good. So Nanu is going to be second in line to tank after Misty goes down. Nanu is here to do... He has like a similar role to what Mina does against Bruno or Surge does against Lorelei. If you watched those videos, you saw me recommend those pairs. Instead of lowering the attack to survive more though, this is a trade-off. You're going to be able to lower the defenses of the unit by 2 every time you use his Screech move. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to spam this move first, just like we did the Paralyze with Calum and the Paralyze with Erica first, because it uses gauge. Remember, gauge maintenance is important. So while the other two are buffing, we don't want to just sit there with everybody buffing full gauge and then everybody trying to spam moves. It's not going to work. So we're going to be using gauge with Nanu first while everybody else is buffing, and then when we run out of gauge and we need more, we're going to buff the speed and evasiveness while the other ones spam their moves, right? So also the special defense will help Nanu too, because his is okay but not that great. This level is a bit of a puzzle, right? There's no question about it, we need to take Agatha down before the second sink. I don't think that's possible if we take out both of the sides first, right? But we can do it easily if we just go straight at Agatha. The problem with that is if we do that, then these two sides start spamming their AoE moves and Corina cannot take it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to take out one of the sides and Agatha before the second sink. I think we need to get lucky with crits. Hopefully the 80% crit on her moves and 50% crit on her sink rolls in our favor. And then we're going to be able to maybe two-shot the Dusk Knower, which means he'll be able to get off one Blizzard, I think is his AoE move. If we have the evasiveness boosted on Corina, that might be enough to have the Blizzard miss, and then we can get those two hits and win this level. It's a really like a puzzle that you have to unravel, but if things go in our favor, we should be able to win. If not, we'll reset and try again and see if we can get it a good run. Okay. One last thing that I forgot to mention in my tips and tricks, but I can mention right here, is the way that you set up your team, you know, left, center, and right actually kind of matters. It, purely for if you want to get in your trainer moves, get in all three of your moves before the enemy queues up, which you need to do if you want any chance of winning. You need to have your 3 moves queued before the enemy even queues 1. So you have to have fast fingers. And even for the pros, the people that have been playing this game, the veterans, it's still easy to mess up. Your center unit's easy. You can use any of their moves right off the bat. They're the ones that are already queued up and ready to go. So you can just press whatever move you want and just know where it is. The side units are where it gets a bit tricky. So I recommend setting whoever, if one of your units has a buff on the right hand side that you want to use first, like Starmie's defense buff, then put that unit on the right. And vice versa, if one of the units that you want to use has a buff or a move on the left, like Screech for Persian, then put that and that teammate on the left. It's easier to hit the outside buffs than it is to try to switch and hit inside the buff. So if you're struggling getting 3 moves in, you might want to look at your team comp and see if you can reorganize it, even including the center. Maybe if like I'm using Skate On, then I can put Misty on the inside or something like that. Whatever, look at your team and see if there's a way that you can queue your moves and have the moves on the outsides to make it easier for yourself. All right, enough waffling, let's just get right in.
Let's get this started, shall we?
Let's pull this off! I got this!
Do your thing.
Put your back into it.
Now's my chance! Here goes!
Good. Do your best.
Oh,
Let's pull this off.
come on.
I got this.
Misty. Maybe I should get vigilance on Misty. Better off track.
Go!
Oh, come on.
Good.
Here goes. Let's do our best. Do your best.
Good.
Go. Now's my chance.
Leave it to me.
Do your thing.
Go. Let's do our best.
Here we go. Leave it to me.
I guess I'll use this.
You can do it.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's good.
So uncool.
I wish I had gotten a few in first. Alright, let's do
Let's go.
I guess I'll use this.
Leave it to me.
Let's go.
I need to dodge a couple of these sludge balls, to be honest.
I know just the thing.
At least until the next few.
Go!
No, this thing's a crit. Healing hand does healing hand does healing stuff.
Good. Do it for me. Do your thing.
Let's do our best.
Yes, put the crits in.
Do it for me. Good.
Let's go.
Do it for me. I know just the thing.
Let's go.
Do your thing.
Come on, Gage.
Do it for me.
Let's go.
Well, a loss is a loss.
Do your thing.
Yes, perfect then. It's okay, Stalin, you did a great job. You did a great job. And the crit skill. Yes, and put this in.
Let's do our best.
Ooh. That was fun.
Yay,
Alright.
we won.
So, let's take a look. At the recommended pairs. for this stage, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll move on to lands next. The last one before blue. Alright, so sync pairs here. You can see Misty no sync grid. Fast track lucky skill. Investment, yeah, but she's worth it. Definitely. Who else do we have on the team? I think I'm going best then. No, not level. Move level. Alright. Nanu here. No grid. No lucky skill. And Karina level 2 sync grid. No investment, no tiles, no lucky skill. So it's completely possible. Oh, and I guess I have to get out of here. You can see the team I had has no bracelets on it. I took those off just because maybe people haven't had the time yet. Although you probably should, if you can level up all your units. Getting gear, grinding gear is stamina free, so it's a good way to practice and to get stronger. But I know that it can be time consuming. Who else, if you have available units, who can you use for this stage? Agatha obviously is weak to Ghost. Morty, number 1 with a bullet. His Phantom Force X, like the best evasion tank in the game. He can max his crit and boost his own attack and stuff like that. And if anything goes wrong, he blows up. I think he's got the strongest explosion in the game because of his high attack stats. Let's talk supports. For Agatha, again, you want... Oh, you know who would be a really good support for Agatha? Where did she go? There she is. Liza. Liza buffs special defense as well. And she buffs attack and special attack. So whoever's on your team can benefit from her. Right? You want crit buffers if you're using physical attackers. Phoebe is another great support for that because she can buff their crit if they can't do it themselves. She also buffs physical attack, which you should be using against Agatha if you're not using like Mewtwo or Agatha herself against herself, Chantel. Then you want, if you're using Morty, you know, can use this physical attack boost. This also boosts gauge, so remember gauge maintenance is important. And she has like natural vigilance, so she could be a good tank as long as she has potion support. If you're gonna bring Pikachu if you didn't use him already, or Bruno if you didn't use him already, or Sabrina would be a good complement to her because she can heal, although she boosts special attack, but that doesn't really matter. And she kind of overlaps with her hit. Maybe not Sabrina. Anyone that can heal. Oh, this one. She would be a good tank actually as well. Cheryl, her high special defense. She boosts special attack. So if you are using Mewtwo or Chantel or Agatha against Agatha, then this would be a great tank because she can boost both their defense and special defense, and she boosts their special attack. Anybody that can boost speed as well. If you're using a physical striker like Morty, then where is he? Hilbert would be good, right? And then you can just go the flinch sleep route as well, just using those normal units. So, yeah, tech and strike. This is a good stage. Ghost tends to be good against Ghost, so it's a good time to use Ghost. Zatu is a really good striker for any stage, to be honest, because of his stored power spam. You just buff him with anything you want, like pair him with Lyra if you ever grid it, buff him, and then he can go to town. He also has a Ghost move, I didn't know, Confuse Ray, which confuses the opponent, which gives them a good chance of hitting themselves, which means they're not attacking you. Alright, so maybe Zatu with the proper support. And Chantel, I love Chantel. I just recently got flame proof on her, which would be good for now since she doesn't have a grid. We don't know what she's getting, but that allows her to use her to max out her speed and to boost her evasiveness 4 stages without having to worry about the burn and the lower defense. I like to pair her with like a status user. That way I can use a 2-bar spam for Hex. But if you have the gauge for it, Shadow Bow is always a better choice, and it does have a chance to lower special defense, which will increase defense output. It's not easy. Unlike Nanu and Kukui that can lower defense very easily, we don't have any reliable special defense debuffers. But she's definitely a great, easily accessible unit to go up against Agatha. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that one. We are on to Lance next time. See you soon.